Hey, what's up, race fans? Welcome back to the Lord's Racing League. I'm your host, Big C, and as always, got Lil C right here with me.
Hey, what's up?
And we are so excited to introduce our new series, Bull of the Woods. And real quick, here's a rundown on how it's going to work.
There are 4 drivers. Their starting positions are based on how we receive them, and they will be rotating clockwise every lap, and there are 8 laps. The driver with the most points at the end will stay, the others will leave, and he will become the Bull of the Woods.
Well, yeah, that's a little dramatic, but we'll go with that. And that bull is going to have to face 3 more competitors every race and see how long they can stay on top. So let's head over to driver introductions and see the first group to take on the track. And starting on the pole, we got Slick Kitty from Stupid Fish Racing, driving that 69 Cougar, coming in at 56.53 grams.
And starting second, we got Dutch Vanderschiff in his Jaguar I-Pace, weighing 59.9 grams, and he's driving for Dutch Clutch Racing.
And starting third in that awesome-looking Dodge Charger, In Count from Chase Family Racing, coming in at 59.69 grams.
And starting in the back for Ozark Mountain Speedway, we got JB in his Ford F-150 Lightning, and it weighs 54.63 grams.
Alright, here we go. I don't know if y'all are excited as I am. Lap 1 of this series. Slick Kitty, she's out there on the front, or he's out on the front. Takes off Dutch on the outside, but it looks like Slick Kitty's going to get out in front, but Dutch is not having none of it. Bogs him down, and here comes In Count, slams into the back, takes the inside, with second place over Dutch. Dutch ain't done. He comes back on the inside of 5 and is able to take over second. They're still battling at the finish line. But it looks like Dutch is going to hold off the second. In Count, man, they are already starting off just how I was thinking. They are battling every minute of the track.
Man, what a great first lap. Look at Dutch get right on the back of Slick Kitty. They're battling into 3. And you say JB and In Count climbing up.
Back over. Here they come.
And bam, right on the back of Dutch. And look at this battle right down and into 4. Look at In Count take over
move.
Dutch. That was beautiful.
I think Dutch kind of spun him there at the end and made him lose the back end.
Yeah, and then Dutch comes right back up on the inside, steals it right back before he even knows what happened.
Yeah, and they're still battling.
Yeah,
coming out here. Look at this.
Watch at the line. He tries to come back. Nice block by Dutch, and then JB is just kind of trailing behind, but there's still plenty of laps to make up some good points.
Oh, yeah, man. First lap, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody's bringing the A game. Slick Kitty, though, he's able to start off first, but In Count's got the pole this time, so let's see what happens. As they take off, it looks like Slick Kitty is able to get down, but Dutch is not too far behind, as it looks like he's streaming right down into 3. Now they're bumper to bumper. Dutch is beating off that back bumper, using that chrome horn, trying to get into 5. Got the line. It looks like Slick Kitty is going to hold him off. As it comes through, In Count is going to come in 3rd, and JB coming in the rear and flips over as he gets down through the end there.
Wow, that was intense. Look at these 2 drivers. They just have a big
Dutch is just slamming on the back of that bumper.
Yeah, and look at he just never let off. I mean, these cars are so well balanced with speed. It's insane, but you can see In Count coming in fast and furious, and so is JB.
A little too fast and furious.
Yeah. JB was coming in just a little too much, but you know,
coming in hot.
So far, I tell you what, Slick Kitty is definitely showing the dominance out on the track today.
Yeah, definitely got that Cougar wound up and doing pretty good. But here we go. JB's got the pole, and look at that. He's got Dutch pushing him, but just pushing him all the way down the track, drafting them, and it looks like they're all 1, 2, 3. JB is breaking out, and In Count now is beating on the back of Dutch. But JB is going to pull well away from everybody at the line.
Man.
It looks like In Count pushes Dutch right on through the back. And Slick Kitty, man, what happened there? He ended up way in the back.
I tell you what, right as I said that Slick Kitty was dominating, he gets last. But you know, I mean, it's not too late. But look at JB was really able to get out front and get the clean air, you know.
Once he got in the open lane, boy, he took off.
But look at In Count really battling with Dutch right here, just not letting off his bumper one bit, and then coming down here to the line, it got really close. You know, JB got that, and then, you know, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Another little flip at the line.
Yeah, I think
these drivers are just coming a little too fast.
Yeah, honestly, I think old In Count is sizing up Vanderschiff here as they get down to the finish there, because those 2 are just having it out every time they get around each other. But it looks like Dutch is on the pole. Slick Kitty's right behind him, and his takeoff, it looks like Dutch is able to get that I-Pace. Man, he must have fully charged that battery.
Oh, man.
Pulls away from Slick Kitty in that V8, and I don't even see him in the picture anymore. He's going so fast. coming out of turn 5. Yeah, he's easily going to get this one. And look at the race in the back.
Not
and there goes JB, flipped over again, coming to the finish line. And looks like InCount is able to come home and get third. Man, what a fast lap.
I'm telling you, these drivers are a little too fast and too furious.
Yeah, but look at there, you got a tie up at the top.
I'm telling you, that's pretty good for our halftime. So now that we're past halftime, let's see what these drivers have.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like it's starting to get pulled away into a two-person battle here, and it looks like Dutch, side by side as they come down the backstretch, going into 3. Slick Kitty is able to pull out, is getting the inside, and be able to take over the lead, but Dutch isn't done. Looks like he's coming back, makes a dive there into 5, and he's not able to do it. Slick Kitty's able to come home and keep the pole, or keep the win. Dutch second, InCount third, and JB pulling up the rear.
There you go. But wow, what an intense battle between these two drivers.
Side by side.
They were side by side, leaving turn 2 all the way up into turn 3. But that's when Slick Kitty got just a little bit of an edge on Dutch, and that gives him first place. But I'm telling
Dutch
you
wasn't
what,
done. Look at that.
No, he really wasn't. I mean,
tries to get to the inside.
There's never not a battle between these two drivers at this point. I am convinced. I mean, it's just going to be super tight. Like Big C said, Slick Kitty and Dutch Vanderschiff, they've got the battle right now.
You got 19-17, InCount with 9, JB with 10. But I tell you what, everybody has definitely brought some awesome cars, so let's see how this continues. It looks like InCount's got on the pole. Slick Kitty on the outside with old Dutch pushing, and they push away out into the lead. Let's see if old Dutch is able to get around Slick Kitty, dives to the inside, not able to do it. Slick Kitty flips over, going down the backstretch. Look at InCount. Man, he comes flying in, isn't able to pass, loses the back end coming out of 5, and JB flipped over coming out of 5 also. And poor Slick Kitty, this is not the type of race that you can afford to have any DNFs, especially as close as they are.
I was about to say that one DNF could cost Slick Kitty the entire race.
Yeah.
If Dutch doesn't severely mess up.
Yeah, there's only a couple laps left.
You saw. I was gonna say you saw the points and how close they were. These drivers could not afford to mess up. So let's figure out what happened. So it looks like the pressure from Dutch kind of got to Slick Kitty, maybe.
Yeah. Just pulled too much to the left, hit the guardrail.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of hard to explain what happened.
Look at that speed by InCount.
Thankfully, he was able to keep it down on the inside, and the other drivers went way high to avoid the wreck. But look at that punch by InCount right on that rear bumper. And honestly, I think he might have messed up InCount a little bit, but
man, look at
JB, what happened to him? So let's see. Oh, he doesn't align for the corner very well. He stayed down to the inside and then tried to go outside. Doesn't work.
Yeah, I think maybe he got hooked on one of those grooves or something and just pushed that thing right on over to the top. So you don't like to see any red donuts. Don't know also real quick if y'all noticed some of the track updates that we tried to do to make for it to, I don't want any more red donuts, but so we'll see how that goes. JB is getting pushed by Dutch as they take off, and look at InCount right on the back of Dutch, but man, JB got that Ford Lightning cooking down the track, coming across the line, and there's a close battle for second. They say InCount actually beat him at the line, but we're going to have to go back to verify that. And Slick Kitty pulls up the rear, but man, what a move that was right there at the end.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this because a lot happened. So you can see Dutch right on the back of JB. InCount right here makes a lot of ground up. Gives Dutch a little push. Then they kind of gap out just slightly, but it was coming out of here that InCount really made his move.
Oh, look at Dutch, man,
yeah,
he's
Dutch does also lose it, and then that even messes up InCount. And while all this is happening,
look at that to the line. I'll take it. Oh, wow, yeah, I think he might have got him by the front bumper. Look at that move.
So right up on the inside,
yeah, just a little bit, and he gets second.
I tell you what, that was very tight, and that could be something that Slick Kitty was looking for.
Yeah.
Slick Kitty has to win this, and
Dutch has to
get last. Yeah, last or not finish. So which is very unlikely considering he's starting pole, but not impossible.
So we'll see how that I-Pace does. And looks like so far, look at the gap he is. Man, he has put that thing into turbocharge mode. What kind of Tesla charger did you just hook up to? Slick Kitty is just wrecked over in the backstretch. And that kind of seals the deal. It looks like Dutch is going to come home first. JB is going to get second. Here comes InCount. Looks like he got held up behind Slick Kitty that flipped over again, going down the backstretch. But man, Dutch was just flying.
I wasn't going to call Dutch, win because you never know what could happen. I mean, coming to the line, that car could just explode. I mean, so it wasn't over, but once Slick Kitty flipped over right there,
about the same thing.
Same move. So which is kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what happened. Nobody was even behind him. InCount. Come on, you had 20 business days, you didn't have to hit him, okay?
I would say JB made a nice move, but Incount just slammed him. But
yeah, but coming down here to the line, obviously, there's your Bull of the Woods.
Yeah.
Dutch Vandership, he beat everybody by 9 points.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
yeah, I'm saying that. Awesome Jaguar I-Pace. We definitely appreciate Incount, JB, and Slick Kitty for bringing in your cars.
Let's just hope that the motors and batteries don't wear out by the next race.
Yeah, well, there's no guarantee. I mean, these are just electrical vehicles, so, and something's just always missing when I hear them going down the track. But that's a whole nother subject. Here's the next three that you're going to go against. We got Mr. Dark,
Mr. Russell,
and Scooter.
Now let's see if in the next race, Dutch Vandership will be able to hold on to the Bull of the Woods title against these 3 drivers.
Oh yeah, and you know there's some hot ones in here, so make sure you got the ringy-dingy thingy on.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Got to be subscribed. Give it a thumbs up if
buddy.
y'all enjoyed it.
Share it with everyone.
Yes, as I always say, sharing is caring. So we appreciate everybody. We'll see you next time. God bless.